Welcome to PCB Views. I am Farid Pathan from United States of America, and our guest today, Farhad Hussain from Dhaka, Iftikhar Ahmed from Dhaka, and we are expecting another guest. He's going to join us with us in a short time. So our topic is today about the Tulip Siddiq resignation in United Kingdom, and also the reformation of Bangladesh Constitution. And another issue we're going to cover today, Donald Trump, the newly elected president of the United States, he is on the way to Washington, D.C., and on a White House. So I will ask today, Mr. Farhad Hussain, that what do you think about the Tulip Siddiq resignation? Uh, she claimed that she is still innocent. Do you think the investigation, what went through, is over, or you think that this is the bottom of the pyramid, and there are a lot of the other people also on that net? What do you think about it?
Thank you, Patan Bhai. I'm very much happy for having me in your very noted, prestigious show in global language. I'm badly attracted by cold, so please pardon me. Tulip Siddique's show is going on, and it has already created a reputation not only in England but also all over the media world, across the border.
Okay.
And the matter is that in King's Cross, she has had a flat, living apartment, living, not used for commercial purpose, but for living.
Oh, that's her residence.
Yes, residence. It has been noted and found out the person who has given her this, he is Moin Ghani, related to Awami League political party of Bangladesh. You know, Tulip Siddiqui, in her letter of resignation, mentioned it. And not only that, in some medias, she mentioned it, that she has been given, it is his assumption that it has been given by her parents to her. And she has been in this sort of prejudice that it has been gifted to her by her parents. But when the situation is come to the investigation, it has been found that exactly it has been given by Moin Ghani, a political leader, one of the political leaders of Awami League.
This
And
investigation
now the
started,
British,
Farhad, by this investigation started in last July, when she was asked by the investigation team how she paid the rent of that apartment. You know that, right?
yes, it was given to her in 2009, you know.
Right.
2009, it has been registered by the transfer of property law of Britain.
All
All
right.
these things happened. And Sir
But
Magnus,
there wasn't any money transaction was there in that transfer of the
it
property.
is it is one of the main causes. There is no money transaction of transferring this property, this
Right.
flat for living. You know, it is a question. And Sir Magnus, who is the counselor to the standard, to the ministerial standard,
For the
is engaged
investigation.
in investigation.
Right, right.
And in prima facie, that Sir Magnus has reported that primarily it is not found that Tulip Siddiq has taken some illegal or illegitimate privileges, but further investigation is
But
required to
that
find out.
investigation is not done yet. It's ongoing.
It is ongoing. Investigation
Right.
is ongoing.
Mm.
And when the investigation would be completed, then it will be determined whether she is guilty or innocent.
All right.
If if she is guilty, she will face some consequence, particularly in the field of politics and particularly in his image. as a politician. If she will be free from, she will be exempted from this sort of accusation, from accusational charge. I think that she might have got her particular state previous status in her political arena, and might be reappointed as the minister by Starmer, the British Prime Minister.
Right.
And I think that this situation is created a particular under situation in British politics, especially. I'd like to say that Starmer has been facing a certain kind of embarrassment because of this matter. She had a very good. She has a good. Tulip has a good connection with Starmer,
Yeah,
and
because
so far my knowledge
yeah,
goes,
the
as
Keir
your report,
Starmer.
as
Keir-
according to your report,
No, right.
Tulip's constituency is adjacent to the constituency of
Exactly.
the
That's what
present
I was
British
trying to
Prime
say.
Minister Starmer.
Hmm.
And that is why Starmer is in a very uneasy position right now, according to this matter. But I wish that she would be exempted from the church, from the accusation, because the image of Bangladesh is related to the image of Tulip Siddiq.
All right. That was in the last week when the Commons was all the member of parliament. They've been accusing Tulip Siddiq to step down from the ministry. But she is the member of parliament. She is holding the position. Do you think that position is also in danger now?
It might be endangered in the impending days when the church or the accusation would be probed against her. This is very important. Yes, I have exactly followed the British parliamentary session. I've forgotten her name. She is a black MP, member of parliament. She mentioned it repeatedly,
Opposition leader,
accusing opposition leader from conservative. She
conservative party.
started accusing conservative. She started accusing Tulip exactly on this particular issue, and I think that the so far my knowledge, so far I have watched the exactly the parliamentary session in the British Parliament. I am convinced that if something wrong exactly related to Tulip Siddiq, our political future will be curtailed.
Mhm. Okay, now if I ask Mr. Iftikhar Ahmed, what do you think about the same effect? The question goes to you, and the same thing. What do you think about the family of Hasina's? We know that her niece, her nephew, they live in England and also in Finland. Do you think that the other family members also being investigated on these issues, on the corruptions?
Isn't that obvious? The way the things are moving.
When the investigation is going to start, all the
The
involved
it is
members,
it,
eh,
yeah.
they will try to find out. They'll dig into
I,
it.
I, of course, this is just like dominoes effect. So the chain reaction will follow. Just right now, they have we have just started ignited the car engine. Started the Tulip Siddiqui is the first thing that has come to the picture.
Mhm.
Now, second, third, many will be soon. We'll be seeing them in the picture, and if we do not know what lies beneath. There are many hidden things which we are not aware of. You know this Hampstead area and King's Cross, where her flat has been located, whether in her name or not, or I have no idea about that thing
That is already
exactly.
transferred to her name.
Okay, so there is nothing to do because British law is very strict, and they will not even let the Queen go. Nothing is above British law because we are still following our in this subcontinent British law. So is most of the Commonwealth countries. The British law is very strict. So Tulip Siddiqui or whoever it is, if they are convicted, they will be punished. Their membership will be gone, and the biggest threat is will be coming towards the prime minister. who
You
has
know,
been protect.
there are
Yeah,
some other members of in Bangladesh prime minister's associates, so like the other
exactly.
parliament members and her advisors and their family
Hmm.
members, and they've been donating millions of dollars to Charles Fund. That is also an investigation on the way. Do you know? Do you know the other members
Yes,
as well?
main member who was in the dinner table with the King Charles now. Uh, can I be allowed to disclose the name? Everybody knows only the name.
If you want to.
Okay, it is the famous known as Darvish Baba here, the Salman F. Rahman, his son, Shayan F. Rahman. Hmm. He has donated, I believe, 250,000
About a quarter million
pounds,
pound, right?
or something like that, because the exact figure we are not sure about. One is declared, another is undeclared. One is over the table, and is under the table. This
Hmm.
goes on everywhere. But very unlikely if these things should happen in the country like UK, where they think that all the sun never sets in British Empire. Hmm. They think British people they are the super people. Hmm. Now, if their image goes like that, that the king, some people are saying, no offense to the British government. My apologies first. The King Charles may be the last king. After that, the dynasty, everything comes to an end. So the King Charles will be in a very embarrassing position the way he was praising about Salman F. Rahman's son. So I think next investigation, I will not be surprised if the investigation after Tulip Siddiqui goes
So the
connected
domino
towards
effect
with
is
him.
gonna domino effect is gonna
Exactly,
hit
exactly,
other
exactly.
people as well.
Patan Bhai, what will I say? The saddest part is that we are looking at UK. Let us come back for a few minutes to Bangladesh. Hmm. Look at the history. None of the Sheikh Mujib and their associates, the leader of this, whoever was connected in a lot of heinous crimes, never been accused for a single day, never been punished.
Uh,
This is the
there
first
there was
time.
an indemnity bill being passed that no one can
Mm,
talk anything about that family. If anybody
mhm.
does, then they would be get punished. You
Yes.
cannot say anything against that family, isn't it?
Yeah,
That was
true.
2015 or 16. That indemnity bill
Something
been
like
passed.
that. That indeed, a lot of changes are coming. We'll be discussing this in the reformation of the constitution, Bangladesh constitution, later part of the
So
program here.
that's the reason all the social media and the news media couldn't cover any information that
No,
was done by that family,
no,
right?
100% right. We were just living in a communist, worse than a communist, because in communist country they will not kill you at least sometime, but here you will not be found, your dead body will not be found. Look at Ilyas Ali. So this is
Right.
very, he's the man from your part of the part of Bangladesh. Very
Hmm.
sad that with you, you as an American, you know very well freedom of speech is one of your constitutional rights. So we are, there is that thing comes later, the reformation of our constitution.
Hmm.
So that will come later. So I will not talk about this right now. We are talking about Tulip Siddiqui and her corruption and the people who will be coming next also assumed. But there is nothing to assume. This is just like the house of cards. One card has been pulled. That is Tulip Siddiqui. Rest will go down automatically. What
So
do you think?
do you think Starmeyer is also in a hook?
He, after, I was really shocked to see that after all these comments and regarding everything, he has been defending Tulip Siddiqui,
Right.
saying that this lady is completely innocent. I agree with Farad Bhai that no Bangladeshi citizen, if anybody is blamed like this, the image of our country
That's the
becomes
first
worse.
time. That's the first time of
Mm,
history in the commons, and that corruption been
yes.
done and been
Mhm,
erased from Bangladesh. It is so
mhm.
sad for our country.
Very sad.
If
Very
we have
sad.
a good name, good fame, and also good issues, then we could have celebrated. But it is very sad for us and that some
Mhm,
corruption been done from the
Mhm.
connection between our prime minister and also some minister of the commons. I will go to Farad Bhai right now. What do you think about the constitution being reformation and the commission that submitted some of the issues, like how the election is going to proceed, and also the government formation of the government, and also there are some names being changed. Do you think these are the major things that a lot more needs to be done?
Yes, sir. I have seen some major things are being changed, and this will create a particular picture of politics in Bangladesh in the impending days. Already, four reforms commission have submitted the reports to the chief executive, the chief advisor of the country, Dr. Yunus, and there are some major recommendations, particularly in the reformation, which should be considered as an important matters to determine the future politics of Bangladesh. And I'd like to take the privilege that the Prime Minister's tenure will not more than 2 10 years. No person can be continued in the office of the Prime Minister more than 2 10 years. 2 10 years.
But
And this
they
period.
Farad Bhai, this terms is now they're saying it's going to be 4 years term, not 5 years term.
Yes, another thing is that it was 5 year terms. The Prime Minister's terms was 5 years terms, but it has been declined to 4 year terms.
Right.
And he or she must not be continued in the office of the Prime Minister for 2 terms, more than 2 terms. This is
Consecutive
a this is
terms
a
or
major recommendation.
consecutive two terms
Major,
or consecutive 2 terms, or the gap, if I let's say after 2 terms someone become the prime minister and then I would run again. Do you think that would be the possibility, like
might be.
what Putin did on a Russia?
No, no, it might not be. I think that the spirit was not like exactly Vladimir Putin is enjoying in Russian Republic. I think
Mhm.
that a person cannot be prime minister for more than 2 times.
Okay, that's
It is
period.
clear. So far, I have counted now. And the parliamentarian picture is it will be the bicameral parliament, the upper house and the lower house. The lower house will be called to the National Assembly, and the upper house will be called the Senate. And
Right.
I think that this reformation has been adopted particularly to create a check and balance in the parliament. Another thing should be noted here that floor crossing has been allowed in the reformation. Exactly. In the Reformation recommended foreclosing says, suppose I am the member of parliament from Awami League background, okay? If I am dissatisfied on particular issue, then I can exactly cross the floor and leave my party and to join another party as a member of parliament. I think that it will create a certain kind of positive democratic atmosphere, and the peakable leaders of the political parties will not exactly do any sort of injurious attitude to any parliamentarian in his party, because he or she has the capacity to exactly cross the floor, and for floor crossing is very dangerous.
Right.
It can create a certain kind of declining position of any political party in the parliament, represented in the parliament. This is very, very important. And
For
I
I
think
have
that
I have a question right there. If you give me in a minute, the constituency is not divided or marked for this 400 member of parliament. So, do you think they have enough time to do that? Because the opposition parties, they've been looking for an election as soon as possible. Do you think it is possible to do that demarcation of the constituencies for this 400 member parliament?
have 400 member parliaments. I'd like to say in this aspect that the two sentiments are going on in Bangladesh, and the two trends or sentiments are very strong. What are these two sentiments? The some people or a portion of people are demanding the reformation, and some portion of people are demanding the election. And I am in the mid of the two. I am desiring the proper reformation, which will create a healthy political picture in the impending days in the politics of Bangladesh, and as well as I need to have the exact date of the election. The representative government is very important for many aspects. Have you exactly listened to the comment of the Indian Commander in Chief of Indian Army when
Oh,
he was asked a question that when the relation between Bangladesh and India would be settled down or normal? The Commander in Chief of Indian Army made the comment that when the elected government would come, India would exactly make a pipeline to create a diplomatic or to go to the diplomatic tie in order to address so many issues which have already been pending. You know,
now
so
what do we have? Now what we have seen that Indian government and their officials, they are not communicating with this Dr. Yunus administration at all. Uh, Now they've been looking for, they're
yes,
waiting for the elected government.
the present Indian government is preoccupied with a certain kind of prejudice
All right.
against the head of the government, the present head of the government of Bangladesh. Out of this prejudice, I think that the present Indian government does not feel interest exactly to make smooth diplomatic communication with the present government of Bangladesh. And you know that the statement of the Commander in Chief of Indian Army reflected this very clearly.
Thank you very much, Mr. Professor Lieutenant Colonel Nazmul Hassan Kalimullah joined with us. Sir, we have some question. Thank you for joining. We have some questions like, what do you think about, we discussed about Tulip Siddiq. Do you think that Tulip Siddique's resignation is that investigation is over, or you think the government of opposition party, they will try to dig into more, find out the more other people might have? This is just the beginning of the pyramid, the bottom of the pyramid. You think that it's going to go to the higher and higher?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me into this esteemed show, along with our two iconic talk show guests from our country abroad. And I'm really privileged and honored. I would like to say that when Tulip's aunt, our former uh, prime minister, was in power, the process of investigation started then. And I knew what is going to happen. After all, I was a second generation British educated person. Both of my parents, they also studied in the UK, in Birmingham and Manchester, respectively. And I have respect for Commonwealth values. So I am a Commonwealth scholar and a Commonwealth fellow. Did my MSOC SC and PhD from Birmingham and University, and my postdoc from University of Bath in
Great.
Somerset. And I know that if there is something fishy, it will be revealed. It's a matter of time. Doesn't matter how powerful you are, how influential you are, because the plural space will allow you to operate, but eventually the truth will come out.
You know that they say more than 350 pounds if you get any donation from
Yes,
anybody, or
yes,
you have
yeah,
to report to the government. This is
definitely. No wonder, no doubt about that.
mm,
Tulip, was a junior minister, and her mom is the younger sister of the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, and her maternal father-in-law was Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. You know, and this
al-
family
also her uncle is
lived.
Tariq Siddiq. Tariq Siddiq was
I,
it
I,
also?
I know, but Tariq was a soldier. He was not a politician in that sense of the term. I was trying to dig into her political affiliation and family ties,
Mhm.
and you know, she used this family political uh, social capital, you know, to start her career over there. Awam League has had a long-standing relation with the Labour ideology and Labour movement and Labour Party in the UK, and that helped her to climb into this ladder of politics within the Labour bench, and eventually she also became a junior minister. But problem was simmering, British deep state, they were keeping an eye on what's happening. The person who eventually became mayor of Sylhet City Corporation, Mr. Anwar Chaudhry, he was actually in charge of dealing with the money matters of the family over there. And I knew 2 years earlier, before the election of Sylhet City Corporation, that Anwar Chaudhry will be stepping into the shoes of this coveted position, now
And the city
of
mayors.
Sylhet City Corporation. And I was not surprised when he got the nomination eventually, and he was elected.
There was a lot of rumors that there are some connection on Rihanna and Anwar, that the city mayor of Sylhet.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
have
yeah.
a very good, close, tight connection, and also
That's right.
Anwar Chaudhary. He got also connected to Starmeyer, that who became the prime minister of UK,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
now now what we have seen, there are a lot of pictures, and during the election, Anwar Chaudhary was campaigning for Keir Starmer.
Yeah, and one of the watchdog state within state organ in Bangladesh is CTTC, and one of the members of that CTTC outfit introduced me with Anwar Chaudhry over the
Mhm.
telephone, and he used to sort of call me, and I also sort of changed greetings. And later on, when everything was made public, I stopped being in touch with him, because I knew that, you can
It's coming.
smell rat. You can smell rat eventually.
Right, right.
And, we also have seen a photograph of the British Prime Minister with Anwar Chaudhry, with
Yeah,
his
he
bow
met
tie
last
on.
week. He met
Yeah,
last
that's
week.
right. Yeah. Well, Mr. Stama, was firmly uh, behind Tulip Siddiq, and later on he found that he can't take it anymore because if he continues to keep her in the cabinet, the whole cabinet would be in jeopardy. So that's why she was persuaded to resign. And but the thing is, it's difficult to cover up. It's a too long and too large a spectrum. Bangladesh, uh, Russian Federation, and also United Kingdom. It's a long stretch which is difficult to cover up. That famous historic photograph of
right,
Tulip with Putin. You know, uh,
right.
sort of raised a lot of concern within NATO sort of establishment.
One of the interviews, she said, "I'm not from Bangladesh. I born in United Kingdom, and I'm a UK citizen." And now, what we have seen that she got connected with all the political events in Moscow and also in a different infrastructure of Bangladesh. So, do you think those investigation is going to go through? Yeah.
Well,
On the,
it has international dimension. It's not a domestic affair of United Kingdom, or for that matter, Bangladesh only. And we know about this saga of Amin Ali, who was a chair of War and Want, this British NGO, INGO, I would say, and he invested a lot in Moscow and other places.
all right.
So UK sort of connection is long-standing and deep-rooted. And George Galloway was elected from Tower Hamlets with the British Bangladeshi diaspora's support. And he was staunch supporter of late Saddam Hussein, the strongman of Iraq, the fallen guy.
Mhm.
And on the contrary, Tulip was all along supportive to the Israeli cause. And she thought that Jewish lobby will be able to protect her.
Mhm.
But, if you sort of cross the limits, no power on earth will own you.
Mm.
And this is the latest example.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll
You know.
come back to you about the Donald Trump being on the way to White House, that issue. Now, I'm going to ask the same question to Mr. Iftikhar Ahmed. Do you think the reformation of our constitution is going to bring any good thing for incoming government and for the people of Bangladesh?
You mean the reformation of the constitution?
Right.
It has not been finalized yet. As I was looking about some report, there will be
Commission submitted that some
total.
proposals.
Yeah, there are some proposal. One of them is the Islamic. Sorry, state religion will be Islam. Okay, another one is proposed is it's not even finalized. 505 seats total, upper and lower, just like neighboring India and your country, United States, Senate and Congress. So right now, something like that will happen. It's a
Do
good
you
thing.
do you think that we have enough time for that?
Mm.
Because the constituency you have to divide and demarcation for the 400 that seat, member of parliament seat. Do you think that time is enough there? And also the voter list. Who are new voters is got to be in there. So, do you think that enough time in there? Because all the foreign countries and the other foreign, like our neighboring country, what I have seen, the United States ambassador in India, he was looking for as soon as possible to hold that election. Do you think that time is enough there? Because our chief advisor, been said that he's going to held the election on the end of the year or the mid of the next year. Do you think that time is enough for the?
It's not what I think. It's a normal question to everybody who are present over here and who are listening. Is it possible? So many unfinished job is need to be finished, done. The first thing about this revolution, July student and people's revolution, what was there any justice they got yet? About all other claim coming from the student wing and also from the general people. So where the justice has been served? Where is the criminals? Where the criminals are hiding abroad? Billions and billions of dollars from the country gone. When it will come? Before that, some I don't understand how come we are talking. We can even talk about any kind of election right now. Everybody will say simple things. Somebody has gone and somebody will come just to earn money. This is not politics. This is really daytime robbery. I'm sorry to say all these words. Where our patriotism has gone? To my both senior members here, Dr. Kalimullah and Farad Bhai, you tell me
So you were saying that
where our
GIGO, garbage in, garbage out.
garbage in, garbage out. What what a country, huh? So about this Tulip Siddiqui thing, I'm coming back. Yesterday I was reading an article. You know, our Nawab Siraj Dowla, when British, and they had in 1757 the war. So they were saying in our language, Khala means the aunt, mother's sister. The aunt was the cause of Siraj Dowla's destruction. Here, Tulip Siddiqui's destruction was also aunt means the former prime minister, the lady Hitler Sheikh Hasina. Pardon me for saying this lady Hitler words because this is the least I can say about that lady.
Mhm.
What election we will have definitely. I told many times in your previous shows, every people in this show who are watching and general people, I always try to represent the general masses sentiment to you, Pathan Bhai, honestly. Because I have to live with them. I cannot go to any other country with billions of dollars, which I do not have, nothing. So I have to stay here with my people, with my workers, and serve them, and they will serve me, vice versa. So it's not possible.
Thank you very much. I'll come back to you. And now I'm going to ask Mr. Farhad Hussain. Donald Trump is on the way to White House. It's about three more days. He's going to be there. The inauguration is going to be on the 20th of January, and it's going to be like 8 o'clock in the morning in New York time, East Coast time. Do you think that foreign policy is going to change or toward Bangladesh or in Asia, Southeast Asia and South Asia? What do you think about that? He said he's going to change the world map. What we have seen that he's looking for to purchase the Greenland. He's claiming that Panama Canal. He's going to get in charge of Panama Canal. Now, today, what we have seen that in Ukraine, Russia, they drone and put a bomb in some cities. It's still ongoing. Also, another thing that a ceasefire been claimed by both sides, Israel and Hamas. He said that it must assign the ceasefire and come to a solution before he goes in the White House. And what we have seen within 2 days, they come to an agreement to get a ceasefire. What do you think about those policies and world map that he said that he's going to change it?
It's a large scale question, including many things.
Right. Mhm.
First of all, I would like to say that we don't find any sort of legacy to have a sea change in American diplomacy or American foreign policy because of the changing of president. First one. A rumor is going all over the world that Donald Trump has a special relation with Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India. But my question is that Donald Trump, in spite of being a politician, is strictly motivated by business trend and sentiment. as we have been reported. So, whatever the relation between Modi and Donald Trump will not create any particular change exactly in his temperament as a businessman. For the sake of business, it will be the first step of Donald Trump exactly to curb the unrest situations prevailing all over the world, like between Iran and Israel, between Israel and Hamas, between Israel and Lebanon and Middle East and etc. etc. So it is my hope and expectation that Donald Trump will be able to maintain a tranquil situation, particularly in Middle East, because Middle East is a very important issue for America to revisit and revise her foreign policy. We have seen the revisit and revise of foreign policy of the United States of America because of the changing of politics in Middle East or changing of regime in Middle East or exactly creating armed skirmishes in Middle East. If you look at the politics of Middle East, you will see that in Arab-Israel war in 1967, you know, i- America has taken a change in their foreign policy. When the oil crisis created in 1973, in America has revisited her foreign policy. When it was arms skirmishes taking place in 1948 between Jordan and Israel, America started thinking about changing their foreign policy towards Middle East. So Middle East is a very important phenomenon, particularly for American foreign policy. So whatever Donald Trump has been experienced and learned the history why American foreign policy is found to be changed, it is due to Middle East, and that is why it will be, I believe that Donald Trump will exactly take the measure in every capacity to exactly maintain a tranquil situation in Middle East so that he can exactly execute his presidency as well as his business in a very smooth way.
Mhm. Thank you very much, Mr. Kalimul. Uh, what we have seen in Ukraine, Russia bombed in Ukraine today, and also there was a first day of a ceasefire. The Netanyahu they bombed in Gaza, and about 30 people have been killed. Do you think that ceasefire is going to last long, or you think there's a very short time ceasefire?
Well, let's look into the larger picture of the chess players. You know, Donald Trump made it clear that he is in favor of redrawing of the world map.
All right.
He talked openly about Canada, about Mexico, even Greenland
All
and
right.
Panama Canal.
Mhm.
So he's a staunch supporter of Netanyahu and the Zionist game plan of creating a larger Israel, stretching from River Nile up to Tigris Euphrates, the whole territory. You
All
know,
right. From river to
Gaza
river.
as a land would be there, but without human beings, I mean, without the inhabitants. They
Mhm.
were even planning to come up with an artificial island in the Mediterranean to shift the population over there from Gaza. And they started scheming on it since 2016.
They
And,
tried to make an
you
island
know,
in
that's
there.
right, island, yes, artificial island.
Artificial
And,
island.
the fate of Syria is now clear. Southern uh, Syria would be firmly part of Israel. They have annexed Golan Heights long ago, since 1967, and eventually northern Saudi Arabia and uh, Iraq and till Shuttle Arab would be part of Israel. It's a matter of time. So Donald Trump be firmly behind that. And reunification of India is another grand scheme. There is an organization called Reunification of India. It has an office in near Delhi, and they're working on it. So the preamble says that eventually Bangladesh and Pakistan would be part of India. So all these redrawing scheme would sort of be partly a reality or full blown reality during the tenure of Donald Trump, I believe.
Do you think
I mean, yeah.
as a nuclear power of Pakistan that will go with the India?
Well, nothing is impossible in human dictionary, according to Napoleon. And you know, global reality is actually a thing which must be taken into cognizance. If Pakistan fails to survive as a economic entity, it might be a reality in near future. Who knows?
What do you think about the Burma Act? Do you think this administration is going to go after this Burma Act?
Partly yes. The scheme is working already. I mean, Rakhine province and Chin province of Myanmar has become independent entity by now. Only the de jure recognition is not there, but in de facto sense of the term, Arakan army has overrun the territories,
Do
bordering
you think that
Bangladesh. And
Mizoram and Manipur is going to join with them?
who knows? We might end up having a Judeo Christian state on this side of the globe. And Burma Act may have something to do with this scheme. Who knows?
How about the Ukraine issues? You think the Ukraine war is going to end?
I believe Trump would stop the war, allow Putin to take over Ukraine. Once it was part of Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. So,
If the
in that
United,
sense of the term,
if the United States doesn't support that financial support and the military, the logistics
yeah,
support, do you
yeah,
think that war is going to continue?
no, it will stop immediately. It'll fall apart.
Hmm.
No doubt about that.
Thank you very much. We discussed about today's Tulip Siddiq, Donald Trump on the way to White House, and also the current events in Bangladesh, and the reformation of our constitution. Do you have? I think Mr. Farad Hussein, he
Have
got.
1 minute.
Yes, would you please flow your closing statement?
I'd like to take the privilege to talk about Burma Act and its effect. A few days ago, I have watched an interview of a military person who has retired from Indian Army as Major General. You know, as Major General some Narayanan, and he exactly has given very radical information about Burma Act and the creation of a designed state by the United States of America. So, what will be the future of Saint Martin of Bangladesh? It is uncertain. If the proposed country would be created, the with the proposed lands exactly, this country will be landlocked. The Saint Martin will be needed for them to have the seaport. And what will be the situation of the impending geopolitical picture
So
of South Asia? It is a question.
are you saying that maritime territory is going to change?
Militants, yes, yes. I think that America is what is the purpose? The purpose is very clear. America has got a particular headache, a headache to face China, and the design of exactly the Burma Act acted in American Senate is motivated with the objective of defending China with the creation of this proposed state. And that is how the state can run without the seaport and how they will get the seaport. This military personnel exactly has given the information that San Martin was before partition of India. It was the part and parcel of Myanmar, of Burma. And he exactly has mentioned this story.
It
I
was a
don't know whether how far it is correct or wrong. I don't know. But the scheme is that if the state will be created, San Martin will be exactly disappeared from our hand. This is my question. As
uh,
Kalimullah Sir had mentioned this fact, that I have added it. Thank you very much.
if I ask for your closing statement, Mr. Kolimula, do you think if the new state, if does born a new state in Myanmar, Arakan, and other province, do you think that the Saint Martin is within that 200-kilometer the maritime territory? So we might lose that island. Is it a
Now,
danger?
Uh,
matter,
I
matter,
apprehend
yes.
I apprehend not only Saint Martin Islands, but also the land beyond Feni River till Nuff Estuary. The whole area is historically known as Northern Arakan, and beyond Nuff is Southern Arakan. So it used to be one territory before the conquest by Shaista Khan, the Mughal Subadar. You see, so they have a claim on this territory, and
But on the
it would
other hand,
unfold.
Mr. Kolmo, on the other hand, the Arakan prince, he was also looking for to join with East Pakistan in during
Is right?
1947.
Yep.
So that was also the
So
expected that at that time. So that
yeah.
was a
So
possibility.
the claims and counterclaims, I mean, these are part of history.
Right,
Once Southern Arakan was a subsidiary of Bengal Sultanate or Bengal Suba, you see.
right.
So we have a claim on that part of a piece of land as well. But it may be a bone of contention by both the parties. So let's see what happens.
Thank you very
But
much for your.
I'd like to add another thing. This person, this military personnel, retired military personnel of Indian Army, mentioned it that there will be change. The map will be changed in Middle East.
Yep.
Iraq might be disintegrated. Syria might be disintegrated, and there will be pressure on Lebanon by the United States of America and Israel, and Israel will start getting power day by day, and no power in Middle East will face Israel anymore.
And that's
When
what
the map will be changed, and so many things will be happened which will create a particular change in the picture of geopolitics, not only geopolitics but also geography of South Asia and West Asia also.
do you think that Donald Trump got within 4 years that would be possible to do all this job? The question goes to all of you.
I think that I'd like to pick up this question first. I don't like to make the comment because it will be a hasty comment. Exactly, let it comes first, then I'll make the comment.
Thank you. How about you, Mr. Klemala? What do you think about that? Time is enough for him to do all this job.
Well, it's a grand scheme. It will be sort of a reality, and this is the propitious time. You know, After 2025, the world won't be the same ever again.
What do you think about Mr. Iftikhar Ahmed about his immigration policies and domestic? There are a lot of domestic change he was looking for, and also the international issues. Do you think that Mr. Trump is going to he's going to do all these things within his this 4 years?
Like Napoleon, Donald Trump's dictionary, there is nothing impossible, he thinks. I also think so. Because one thing you must remember, it's just the Donald Trump is the uh, he has a big power behind him. Mm. Everybody already knows, it's open secret. It is the richest man on earth, Mr. Elon
Yes,
Musk.
also, let me give you another information that
Yeah.
because the Congress is on a Republican Party, they are in a majority, they're in a power.
Hmm.
The Senate, there is a
Hmm.
majority, on a Republican, they're a majority. Also, the White House, all three governmental forms and his side. So it's going to be very
Hmm.
easy for him to pass any laws, any bills.
Correct.
So that would be anything he says. That was last time. It was Democrat was on a majority in a Senate. Now
Hmm.
he has all three powers on his hand, so that would be much more easier for him to pass any bill. So I think
Exactly.
that would be very say magic time for him to
Mm.
come out with any bill and pass in a bill in a very short period of time. Thank you, sir. Thank you, for all of you, for participating on the PC reviews. We are looking for on a next show on our next Friday. Thank you for your participation. Thanks a
Thank you,
lot.
Pathan Bhai. It has been a very, very good show. Being
Thank
Appreciate.
you.
discussed many things. Thank you
Yeah.
very much
Thank you.
for your
Thank
kind
you.
initiative.